My name is Brenton Jones. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and ride for Drapac Pro Cycling Team.
Yeah, drive, mate.
Career started on the mountain bike actually for a number of seasons, racing on the mountain bike in the Junior National Championships. Went to the World Championships on the mountain bike as well, and switched over to the road and started racing road competitively in Australia and also in overseas too. And went quite well, and this year I've got a contract with the Pro Continental team in Drapac, so I'm very excited that my career has now progressed to become a professional and get paid to do what I love and be a part of a very professional team which will see me go all over the world, so I'm really excited. Yeah, the massive difference between mountain bike and road is the tactics. You know, you have had tactics in mountain biking as well, but they're individual tactics. You know, they're about pace making and surviving a cross-country race over 1.5 to 2 hours, which is pretty much like a solo time trial. Whereas in the road, you know, you got tactics, so you might not be the strongest guy, but if you're the smartest, you can win. Whereas mountain biking, generally, if you're the strongest, you'll win. So it's very more it's tactical. It's also much more of a team sport. So road cycling, you have more teammates and you can work together better than you can on a mountain bike. You can pace each other on a mountain bike, but it's a lot easier to pace each other on the road. And when you're coming into a sprint finish, it's teamwork is the one that gets the job done. Yeah, the hard parts of being a professional is you need dedication. There's a lot of sacrifice, away now on this trip. After this, we head to Italy after South Africa. So you're away from 5 weeks, away from your family, away from your girlfriend, and hopefully one day a family as well. You leave behind your kids. So it does take a lot out of you emotionally and on a personal level. So they're probably the two main things that are the negatives, I guess, in terms of being a professional cyclist. You get to travel and race your bike all over the world. And get paid to do it, which is a massive achievement. That's what every cyclist dreams of becoming. But there is a lot of sacrifice, and you need dedication to keep up your nutrition and keep up your training. Which, when you're suffering, it's pretty hard. So it's a painful sport. My favourite race on the mountain bike was back in 2011. I went to Alice Springs in Australia, middle of the desert, right near Uluru, and did a 6-day stage race in the middle of the desert. And there was a stage there of 100 kilometres on the sand, and I was in the middle of nowhere. It was kind of like an orientation a challenge as well. So there was markers, but they weren't obvious, and you had to navigate yourself from one point to the other in the middle of Australian desert. And that was quite an experience, and that's I think that was a life-changing experience on the bike for me. I just finished the race going, wow, that was amazing. And on the road, probably also my biggest win, which is why it was my favourite race, was the Mitchelton Wines Bay Cycling Classic in 2014, at the start of the year. It's got an honour roll full of world champions, Tour de France stage winners and green jersey winners. So for me to join them on that honour roll was quite special. So it's one of my favourite races. The people who achieve and get results in the top level, they're the ones that can hurt the most and go into the red zone longer and harder than everyone else. So the difference, I guess, between a recreational or a club cyclist to an elite cyclist is, that pain threshold and withstanding that pain and emotional, effort that you need to kind of push through and go further. So that'd be the difference, I think, is just, you train hard as well, and you build up your threshold higher and higher than what other people might do, because the more you push yourself, the stronger and the better you're going to get, and you're just going to push that barrier higher and higher. So you kind of got to reach for your goals and keep that barrier and keep that pain threshold just coming up with that, so you can go further. And I think that's what it's all about. A lot of it also comes from confidence and self-belief. You got to, I know that I've got talent, so it's about believing in that and not questioning yourself when you come to a finish of a hard race and go, well, am I good enough? You got to believe you're good enough, and then that helps you push through that barrier and gets you over the line first with the hands up. So I think that's the difference between winning and losing, and understanding yourself as well, emotionally and physically. I think I've come from the hard-working side. I've never been a talent like your Caleb Ewan and guys from Australia who are coming through the ranks who are, in a way, freaks. They're pretty strong. They're really fast. So I think I've come from the hard-working and dedication background, which I've been brought up from a good family, a strong family with good morals, and worked hard for what I've been able to achieve. Yeah, so for us in Drapac Pro Cycling, riding Swift bikes this year, there's obviously a number of sizes that come in the Swift model. So for me, I'm on a large 56.5 centimetre frame, and I've got a negative stem. I've got a negative 17 stem, so it gets me aero, gets me a bit lower down on the ground. So when I'm going for a sprint, I can position myself a bit lower. And I'm a big guy, a bit solid, so for me to have an extra advantage with it being a bit lower on the front end is really nice. The handlebars, I run 38, so really narrow handlebars compared to some people who want to run a 44 centimetre, so I'm a lot narrow at the front end. And you know, we had a lot of measurements in the training camp prior to this season with Drapac, where we were able to set up the bikes, use measurements and individually fit the Swift bikes to our own personal measurement for each individual rider. Yep, so with the drivetrain and with the componentry, we run SRAM, and that's the standard SRAM Red 22 group set. It's a quality